And just like that, welcome back. Welcome back. Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith, just Keith. Can't stand Keith. Here comes Keith. Nonetheless, Keith's here. What's up, everybody? Glad you're here with us. Man, things have progressed a lot since the last live stream we did on Thursday. Special time for this live stream. Why, Keith? Why would you do that? Because it's draft time. That's why. I love the NFL draft. What you guys may not understand right off the bat is data analytics covers more than just crypto or more than just investments or more than just stocks and bonds and equities and what banks do, more than just transactions. Data goes across players. Data goes across coaches. Data goes across all tendencies that we do. We chart this, we run the data, we find the best players. Listen, Jared, I see what you said in the chat. Ain't nobody taking this Panthers jersey off, bro. You see the jerseys hanging up behind me. Now we're missing a jersey because I took it off to put it on. And I forgot to replace it with one before I started. But these Hornets, Tar Heels, and Panthers jerseys hanging up here. And that's just how it's going to be. Nobody likes the Giants anyway. So without further ado, let's get into it. Shall we? And we shall. Thank you for being here. Carolina Keith with you. Do me a favor, man. Go hit the like button. Hit the follow button while you're there. And subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you're not on either one of those, you're on Rumble hanging out, give us a shout out over on Rumble too. We look at every single comment that comes in here, by the way. If you comment, you will get it read on here, especially if you have a request. If you want a chart looked at, drop it in the comments of the video you're watching right now below. I'm happy to look at them. I've got a long list already that's already came in before we even started. And I got one more from the pre-show right here, but when the stream started. So I've already got a long list of what we're going through. I'm going to hit all kind of points here in a second, and I'm going to go rapid fire because we're going to compact this into an hour. All right. For those who are watching and wondering, are you still going to do the Zoom for subscribers afterwards? Of course, we'll do our normal thing after this, just not at this time. We'll do it later when we start our live stream time. Our typical live stream time would be 11 o'clock. We'll do our Zoom tonight then. That'll give us a little bit more time to talk to people in general as well. And if you're not able to get to that, right down there, wap.com/team786. There are 3 spots available. That's it. No other spots other than what people might invite in, and not very many people invite in. We kind of like to keep it close-knit and small community. First month's free. Why not? No obligation. If you don't want to hang out, you don't have to. You can dip out on us and never come back, and it's fine. Now, let me pop out some chats so we can see them all. And this didn't work last time, which was really frustrating when I got the live stream going. And the damn pop-out chats wouldn't work, man. I was big mad, dude, honestly. Let me pop this one out. This one didn't work. The worst one was X. It just didn't want to pop out and work. So it did this time. Cousin Jeremy, yeah, it works. I see my comment on there, so I know it's somewhat working. Cool. And then we'll pop out Rumble as well, because we don't want to forget about our people watching over on Rumble. I love Rumble, man. Pop out chat. Rumble lets you say whatever you want, no matter what it is, even if it's vile and terrible. You can say it over on Rumble. They're big on free speech. They let you shoot yourself in the foot if you want to say something stupid, which is what I kind of like, dude. You say something stupid, you get called out for it. And by the way, I got this live streaming on X in here, but I can't see them all at the same time, dude. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to retweet the stream because a couple of you guys already have. And I'm going to say live now. Let's go. Get your requests in. Let's go. Get your requests in. And it's raining here again, by the way. So we'll do this for an hour. All right. And I believe someone requested something else. I've already got those several that were listed. Someone asked for ADA. I've already got that on the list. Rope-a-dope. I got you. No problem. We'll get to that one. Someone requested Flair. And before I start, let me get into the comments, and then we'll get cracking here. No one's over on Rumble commenting yet. Perfectly fine. X with my cousin Jeremy. Good to see you, Jeremy. What's up, Electric Ken? How you doing, brother? He said, nice chart. I would fully agree. Bill Steezy said, when start? I said 4:30, and that's when we started. Cowabunga Joe, what's up? How you doing? I got Flair on the list, brother. Crypto D, good to see you, my friend. What's up, Jared? Stupid Jersey, he says, that's fine. Charts can't lie. Good to see you, brother. He said, hope you enjoy Sanders. Ain't nobody getting Shador Sanders over here. We already have a quarterback. His jersey's hanging up right there. Bryce Young. And Process Blue, by the way, which is the dopest color we have. What's up, Pit Gangsta Texas Barbecue? Good to see you, brother. Long time no see. Come on the streams more often. We love to hang out, especially if it's late, man. I know it's late, but that's the grown-up hours. Ain't no kids on. Brian Blue says, don't chart it, but have you seen the chart on bundle bits? On Bond? Yes, I have. Actually, we can pull that up because I've got to as well. I've got to pull that up as well because we got deck stuff to look at, and people are going to want to know about some of the charts that they're on Deck Screener. I don't usually use Deck Screener on here because for what it's worth, it bogs down the stream. It sounds weird, but it's true. Let me get it pulled up because someone's going to want to see it. And of course, I kind of want to see it too. So I'll pull up the chart and have it on the sideline over here, and we'll share it shortly. I'm happy to see it's finally running here. And we'll get to that in a minute. Let me put it on the list down here. It just became too big of a risk for me. That's why I got rid of it. Brian Blue says, draft night, go Lions. Okay, I'm fine with that. Honestly, I think y'all are in a good spot as long as you continue to keep your strength strong. I don't want you guys to lean into stupidity here and think that you need to go get all-star players. You guys score plenty of points. You need to go get defenders. If you're going to score that many points, that means you're going to put your defense out there a lot. If you're going to put your defense out there a lot, you need guys who are behind them who are just as, if not comparably better to what you're putting out there on the line, especially the line. You guys got a decent secondary too. That's also good. And I like your middle linebacker. Thing is, you're a little bit thin on defensive line, and that got shown last year when Hutchinson got hurt. So I think if you get another guy to go with Hutchinson, that's a dynamite trio of guys you'd have there. We'll see, though. You know what I mean? We'll see. I'm not a particularly Lions fan, but a lot of teams model what the Lions are doing for themselves, and they try to do something. Bullish CEO, good to see you, brother. Edge and guard. Yeah, edge and guard, you think. You think offensive guard and edge. Well, honestly, we're the same way here in Carolina. We need defenders, and I mean big time we need defenders. Worst defense in the history of the league last year. History of the NFL. Worst defense in the history of the NFL last year. If we don't draft at least 5 defenders, we got a problem. All right? And I know we got a good offensive line, the most expensive offensive line in the league, to be honest with you. Would you believe that we were a top 10 offensive line last year? Hidden gem about the Panthers, we had a good offensive line. And for that, the Panthers had a better offensive game to go behind that. And once Bryce Young got out of his own head, it's not necessarily that I want Walker, it's that I want the best player available, and I want the best defender that we can get now. Mason Graham's fallen back. And the reason Mason Graham's fallen back is because he has a high floor and a low ceiling. What you're getting now is what you're going to get for the next 5 years, and then you're going to see a fall off. He might be good for a second contract for a year or two, but honestly, he'll get a second contract before that 5th year comes in, so you might get 6 years out of him, and then he's done. He's already peaked athletically. So what you're going to get now is seasoning. You're going to get a well-rounded athlete who's ready to go now, but for the future, you're not going to get too much more out of him. You're not going to get too much more juice out of the lemon. If he falls to 8, that's still okay because we still need defensive line help. I would be happy to have him, especially at 8, but not at 2. You see what I'm saying? That's a difference. Honestly, I think we probably trade back. We have too many holes. We can get a good pass rusher between 14 and 30. Honestly, get a good pass rusher between 14 and 35 or 40 maybe. At 15 to 40, I think is the meat of the bulk of the draft. I think that's where you'll see most trades come into. Anyway, let's get the charts. I love player data just like I love chart data. It's interesting to go through this and like find all the information. So I got Bitcoin pulled up first. Why did the thumbnail say we finally made it? Well, it's really simple why the thumbnail said we finally made it. We finally created an uptrend and we finally started liquidating shorts. What does that mean? Liquidating shorts. Well, I've only got 3 lines in green here left on the chart. But if you've been following along on X and been following along in the Discord, I've had several lines drawn on here, but one by one, the price has came up in value and cleared out, demolished, destroyed those shorts who had piled in on the steamroller here as this thing was falling. And to give you an example here, we had shorts piling in up here at the tippy top. That was Liberation Day. Or not that wasn't Liberation Day. There was another day, but that was the top. That was up in the very tip top at the very end of the month in January, shortly after inauguration. From those shorts, we had a big run up here on this one day, but that was just more short traps. Another big fall off, more shorts piled in. Bulls didn't like it. Didn't matter, more shorts piled in, more shorts piled in, more shorts piled in. And then a thing happened. We caught up with everything falling off. Sentiment got so low. Fear and greed index, so low. As a matter of fact, the fear and greed index was at 3 3. The lowest it had been at that point in history was 2020. In the height of the pandemic, we were all the way down to 2. Fear and greed index goes all the way to 100. What should you do, everybody? These are the moments when everybody always says, oh, be greedy when people are fearful and fearful when people are greedy. This is that moment. While things still aren't fully developed and we don't have a lot of charts that look flat out amazing, we do have a bunch of good looks, and that's why I did a request stream in particular, because I wanted everyone to get a look at what they think is special or what they think looks good, and let's see it on the chart and put some actual data to it. We've eliminated several liquidity lines here. I'm going to scribble them out just so you have an idea. We had a liquidity area through here. We had a liquidity area through here. We had a liquidity area through here. We had a liquidity area up here, and that one hasn't been hit yet. But all these lines have started getting taken out one by bulls who are coming into the market and adding buy pressure. You've seen me say it a bunch when I say, man, we need buy pressure. We're not going to get over the hump with just one green candle. You need pressure. You need to push back. And once you've pushed back a little bit, then we can start seeing how the dice roll out. It's often talked about with defenders about how long their arms are, or offensive linemen, how long their arms are. What they figured out is the data shows that depending on the position you play, you need to have longer arms because you get more leverage. If you've ever noticed, an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman basically do a bench press on every play. Every single play is a bench press. Well, how much can you bench press? That's why they test for it. How many times can you bench press 250? Some guys it's 35. Some guys it's 10. Well, obviously give me the strongest sumbitch you got, and I want him doing the bench pressing for me, right? Ta-da, now you know why they do the bench press. Same thing with the 40. It shows a top end speed and a burst speed. There's 2 different speeds there. And it's very important to know the difference, because one guy might be a long strider and one guy might be a shorter, choppier runner who has more quickness and lateral ability, where one guy's more of a straight runner, right? We learned this by gathering data. Data has gotten much, much better on the Bitcoin chart. Not only that, not only have we started liquidating shorts, not only have we started with the buy pressure, the most important piece here is we broke trend. That was a downtrend. You've seen me talk about this before, and I'm going to pull it up so we can see it here. I wrote lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, downtrend, all under the trend line. Fail, 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 until just now, this false breakout over the last 7 or 8 days. This has happened really. False breakout, gets back over this long-term uptrend line, fake out, gotcha, gotcha. Do I have the sound effect? I do.
Gotcha, bitch.
Pulled the rug out from under your feet for a second and then went right back up. Excellent. It's a classic market move, honestly. It's a classic move of, oh, you thought we were going short, didn't you? Just like back here where your shorts come piling in, and every once in a while the bears would shoot back up and show a little strength. They showed a little bit more than normal right here. And when that happened, the script was flipped. That's why you saw the thumbnail last week that said what it said, that the pot was boiling and we're about to have coins falling out of the pot coming to us in profits here. Ta-da, it happened. You're never going to see a clickbait thumbnail from me. Every thumbnail is reasonable, and I'm doing them that way on purpose. You see the check marks on the screen. Well, let me talk about that. Let's pull up another chart here. We'll go to the Binance one. If I look at the 821 EMA and the 50 moving average, which is the Reaper strategy, if you get 2 closes over the 8 EMA, which we have right there, 1 check mark, we have, let me zoom in on it where you guys can see it real big where I don't get no haters. 1 close, 2 closes in a row over the 8 EMA. That's 1 check mark. Next, do you have an 8 EMA, 21 EMA cross? Indeed you do right there. The purple and the orange line, they've crossed. That is a bullish cross. The other way around, if the purple's on top of the red, on top of the green, that one would be bearish, but we don't have that. We've got to cross up. Remember that, because we're going to look at this for the next hour here on many different assets. Top of that, 50 moving average. Do you have 2 closes in a row over the 50 moving average? 1, 2, even though it's red. Yes, you've got it. 3 out of 3 on the Reaper strategy. If you were to divide your risk into 3 segments, you would have all 3 segments into the pot, ready to play your poker hand. Perfect setup here. And from this perfect setup, off we have went. This is why I'm able to say, I think we've hit the bottom. Not only this chart, but every other chart I'm going to show you has a similar look to this. Some of them don't, but a vast majority do. The exceptions don't make the rules. Let's please remember that moving forward, okay? Because you're going to see this for the next however long we have a bull run for. And I'm going to be talking. I'm going to say this and this and this and this. You're going to go, yeah, but what about XXXX? And I'm going to go, the exception doesn't make the rule. What are the majority doing? You can't bank on the exception. You cannot bank on the exception. You bank on the rule. And if an exception comes along, great. All right? Perfect. That's Bitcoin. I'm going to say a couple more things here. Next stops are the green lines that I have, these liquidity marks. We're at the 618 fib right here on this particular line that's in green. That's another point of contention. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get past this level. You're starting to dig into the resistance up here. This red box was a support box. You can see we fell under it, but now we've recaptured it. That's excellent. We're over all the moving averages, including the 50 and the 100 and the 200 moving averages, which are in red and blue right there. Excellent. You've jumped all those, and those are now support. We have more and more and more bullish confluence stacking up on top of each other, giving us better and better and better optics here moving forward. This is exactly what we needed to see. This is what I've been harping on, preaching about, hoping that would actually happen. Now, how about the Ichimoku cloud? You see me talk about the Ichimoku cloud before. Why? Well, the Ichimoku cloud gives us 4 data points. 4 data points for yeses or nos to kind of help us make a decision based on confluence. Perhaps you're a football fan and you're watching this because you see me post about the Panthers too. You might hate my takes, right? Because you think, oh, he's just saying that. Wrong. We've gathered confluence for a yes or a no on a lot of these players that I evaluated. 4 different points of confluence on the Ichimoku cloud. Is the end of the Ichimoku cloud green or is it red? Green would be good, red would be bad. It's green, excellent. That's one check mark. What about the blue and the red line? That's the conversion line and the baseline. Blue is conversion line, red is baseline. You want the conversion line over the blue line. That is good. If the baseline was over the conversion line, the red would be over the blue. That would be bad. We've got a good look here. Lag line. This lag line is the candles moved 27 spaces back and made into a line instead of candles themselves. It's just a representation of the price moved 27 spaces back. Is it above the price or below the price? Well, candles are way down here and then way up here. And as you see, the lag line is well above the previous candles. Excellent. That's 3 out of 4. Last piece is the price of the asset you're looking at, above the cloud or below the cloud. This one's above. That's 4 out of 4. This hasn't happened in 4 months plus. Folks, it's been 4 months plus since this has happened. Please don't let these opportunities pass you by. I'm not going to tell you what to buy and sell. Never have, never will. What I am going to do is request you put a little bit of effort in yourself and see that things are changing. Finally, things are changing. I'm not telling you to go call your grandparents and tell them to buy. I'm telling you to maybe bust out a chart yourself and look at it and see what you think. But things have gotten drastically better over the last 2 weeks. It's time to lock in, folks. I think the bottoms are in. I'm not going to say that for your asset. You pick what you want. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an idiot on the internet who does this for a living. You decide what you want to do. I do be very open about what I'm doing. I'm going to be very open about a chart and very blunt with you about that, whether you like it or not. All right. That's data 101. It's risk management 101. Guess what? Some of the risk is starting to fall away here. And if the risk is falling away, that means the reward is going up. So by God, strap in, folks. We're all about to get paid. Finally. 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 We're all about to get paid. Now, let me go into the requests. I know there's a bunch of them. Let's see. Do I have anybody in here first before I get cracking? Nobody's over there. Perfect. I got guys on YouTube and guys over on X. All right, let me check and make sure no other requests come in here because we're about to fire off them and bust through a bunch of them here. Quant. Yep, I'll write that down. Perfect. Let's do bundle bets first because it's over on a DEX and I don't use a DEX a lot. I can't pull this up on YouTube anymore. On TradingView, it won't load anymore. for whatever reason, it stopped having the ability to load. So I'm going to switch to weekly, and I don't have any settings on this, all right? There's nothing but straight up price action that you can see on the chart. So big, huge downtrend. But what I will be saying I'm happy about here is here's our initial low and our high, and our lower low and our lower high, and our lower low up, but it's actually a little higher than this one. So we have an overall decently bullish setup. While it may have taken a while for this thing to turn around, it finally has. If we want to draw a trend line, any way you want to draw it here, excellent. Things are moving up and going in the right direction for you here. Very nice move. It's worth noting that liquidity is only $45,000 on this, so be careful about it. It's less than $1 million in market cap. You go playing around with something like this, you could get burned, so please understand the risk before you do it. As far as 821 EMA on the daily, she's blown right through it. You can see this low volume and low market cap really gets moving when you only add a couple dollars to it. This was a month ago. The price was 65 cents. Now it's $2.90. So you can get the figures there. You're almost a 4.5x already. And I think there's more room to go later. It's on a breakout now. Now that it's on a breakout, the ceiling gets a lot higher. I don't want to know how far yet exactly. I want to see how the end of the month comes in and how we move forward, but I do think there's a lot of upside here. I think there's a lot of upside. And because there's a lot of upside, hey man, you can get in there and make you some money. All right, Creddy, I seen you. Perfect. Let's go down the list. Injective protocol was first. So off we go. If I'm looking at the Ichimoku cloud, which gives us our 4 out of 4, sorry folks, I only got 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4 here. I do have a lag line over the candles. I do have a conversion line over the baseline. I do not have the candles over the cloud. As you can see, the candles are butting into the cloud. That one won't work. And at the end of the cloud, it's still red, as you can see on the chart. I need that to flip green. So we do got 2 out of 4. Anything else look any better? Well, let's see. Ichimoku cloud is just a confirmation indicator for me. You know what I mean? It's really just a confirmation indicator for me. I prefer something much quicker. That's what we have on the screen right now. 821 EMA and 50 moving average. 821 EMA cross up. 2 over the 8 EMA. 2 over the 50 moving average. And look at that thing bounce off this moving average just like a pro. You know, I had a former moderator who was on the show before, and who was one of our members for a very long time, who got very upset because he couldn't take a joke. He said moving averages didn't work. If it didn't work, well, then why would this be happening exactly like this? Exactly bouncing off the moving averages. And I only say that because he then went on to try to trash me publicly for no reason. I didn't try to do that to him, but he did. So interestingly enough, we're bouncing right off one of those moving averages perfectly. We just needed a bullish setup for it to happen. This only happens because we broke trend. Do we have that same trend break that we had on Bitcoin over here on Injective Protocol? And the answer is yes, we do. You can see that big monster downtrend. Just chopping along. Draw it however you want to draw it, but that's a clean breakout. That's a clean breakout. Perfect. Now that we've got a breakout, let's see how far it could go. It's gonna seem like hopium here, but bear with me. All right. So if I pull some fibs on this, important markers going to the future. The 50 fib at $14.90, call it 15 bucks. That's going to be the first point of contention, as well as the golden pocket at 18 to 20. So really 15 to 20 bucks, because that's where the bud of resistance is here on this chart. Right through here, a lot of trash for that to try to get through. That's not going to be easy. That's going to be tough for it to push through, honestly. It ain't going to want to get through that without a lot of effort. See what I'm saying? So since that's going to be a tough fall, be careful. It may get hung up right through here. In the event that it doesn't get hung up and manages to get through, our next stopping point is 25 to 30. That's Sniper's Alley. We've seen a lot of different assets get chopped out in Sniper's Alley and fail. I'm very curious to see how far this one goes. I would love for it to get up here by the summer. All right. I think a lot of these are going to run for the next month or two, maybe even 3 into the summer. And then we're going to get a sell-off before the fall and the big move that comes at the end of the year. I think the bigger move comes at the end of the year, and this is just the precursor move that gets us boiling. All right, that's from 15 bucks as the first target, $20 is the second target. 20 to 30 is my holy smokes, we're going to break out level. And if we manage to get above that, 56, 72, and 103 are possibilities. And those are breakout, take profits, it's over possibilities. All right. I don't know that those happen, but if they do, I've got a green box marked for it already. You be the judge on what it'll do. I don't own any of this. Knock yourself out. I shouldn't have closed that DEX because now someone has asked for something that's on a DEX. Let me pull that up. And it is called QF. QF. I think there's one more DEX, and I'll knock it out too while I'm there. Nah, I'm saying. All right, this one's got a $21 million market cap. So it's a lot of money in this one. It's going to be less volatile than Bundles Bets. All right. So similar story that you saw in Injective Protocol here and Bundles Bets. You can kind of see no matter how you draw this, this is either breaking out or very close to breaking out. If you start all the way back here, looks like it's buttoned against the trend line. If you pull this trend line down here to this little short-term trend that you had, well, it's already broken out and ran. So I'm going to say this. Yes, this could be a breakout, but proceed with caution because this thing might stutter out and fail on you here and come up a little short in the longer run. I don't want to see it get hung under this trend line right here and then fail on you. So be very careful and walk softly. A close over this trend line, however, opens up an entire another level. If it can get over that level and make it up, then you're looking at, it's already hit the golden pocket at 237. You see that? Sniper's Alley is up at $3 and some change. Call it $3. Call it 350. All right. If you get above that and she wants to go on a breakout, I don't have all the fibs put up here. Let me put them up. I need 1414 and 1272. There you go. That's $6, $8.5, and $12 if it can get on a run. I think it's possible. All right, cool. Neuralink AI. I don't see that one. Nope, don't see that one. So I'll look at that one later. I don't see Neuralink AI anywhere. And I may just be dumb and can't see it. That happens all the time. Don't hate me for it. All right, Chainlink. We'll go a little faster here. Pick our speed up. Get your speed up. You guys know Tech 9? You should know Tech 9 if you don't. Come on, man. Everybody should know Tech 9 by this point. You don't know, no, you don't like the memes, Doc, but could we look at Retardo and MFer? Sure. So the thing about charts is I don't have to love or hate the asset to chart it. That's the thing. I don't care either way. The data doesn't care whether you like it or don't like it. That's the beauty of charts. Doesn't matter. Like it or hate it. The info is there. And that's the hardest part for people to let go. And I've learned that in the sports world, it's almost the same. You can tell somebody 100 times in a row that they're not very good at this, and they're still going to keep trying to do it because they fall emotionally into the trap of, I can't not like this person. I can't not like this player. Well, there's 1,000 other guys that can do that job too. Relax, right? All right, so Chainlink hasn't quite got over the 382 just yet. She's working on it, though. She's working on it. If it gets past that 382, everything changes. You see, we blew right through the 236 fib. That was awesome. As far as the 821 and 50 moving average go, hey, looky there. Just the same as the other ones. You've got 3 out of 3 on the Reaper strategy. You got everything you need. She might go slow, but she's going to go. All right? She might go slow, but she's going to go. I like the fight in Chainlink here. It's actually fought on the weekly to get above the weekly moving averages that you see it's kind of all twisted into. What's up, Busted? You can see that it's kind of twisted up in the moving averages and having a little bit of a hard time, but it's going to get over them. And when it does get over them, there's not much to stop this from keeping on going, okay? If I back out on the weekly and we pull some fibs on this, and let's just pull the fibs on this little short-term downtrend that we had starting at the end of the year, and let's just say this thing corrects back by the end of the year. Prices are 41, 49, and 61 that I like for Chainlink if it can get up off the horse and get moving. If it gets that by the summer, which I think is possible. Drag our fibs down here to the overall. And look at how well this back tested the overall and is now playing around like it wants more. Same levels, 30 to 40 bucks is Sniper's Alley. We got there one time before. I think we can get there again. And if we break out of the big all-time fibs, that's a 102, 144, and 236 target. Target 100 bucks is a little bit more safe. In my opinion, it's still a bit hopium, but it's safer than saying 230. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we should be looking at lower targets for a bit till we get some more breakouts and runs, right? Once we get breakouts and runs, things change. As far as Ichimoku Cloud goes, lag line over good, conversion line over good. Red cloud is bad, price in cloud bad. So you're 2 out of 4. Your confirmations are almost there and getting better. Not quite. But I own Chainlink, a lot of it. It looks pretty good for me. That's why I bought it. I'm here for the risk. I'll take it, and I'll hope that I don't screw it up. But I don't think I did. I think we got the right idea. All right. Now, it's time for everybody's favorite. Not really. XRP.
Gotcha, bitch.
So anyway, I own a bunch of XRP too. Love to chart it because even though the community might not like me too much, I'm still on their team, dude. This is how I got my start in crypto. I'll always be fond of XRP, even if I hate how it's done me over the years. It's fine. You can't love or hate assets. They don't love or hate you back. They just exist. Good news. Good news. XRP has changed the tone. Ichimoku Cloud, we're not there. We're 2 out of 4, just like we were with a lot of other ones. However, if I show you some moving averages, looky there. You've broken the 821 EMA. You've broken the 50 moving average. That's a 3 out of 3 on the Reaper strategy. I hope you're paying attention, but she's doing a whole lot better than she was. Everything changes. If you've been watching, I said that these moving averages were going to bunch up, right? And the price would jump up in these moving average and get tangled up in them. And it would take a little bit to chop out and do it, but it would go. I just said that and posted that last week on X, and it happened. This is not like I'm making this stuff up. I want you guys to go back and double check me if I'm wrong or if I'm lying or whatever, because I'm wrong sometimes, absolutely. Good news is we've jumped some of the barriers we need to get above. There's a holding pattern on this. This is an ugly candle that came before today. All right. Good news is we're over some barriers. It'll take some time to get through these as well. It's not just going to sprint, but it will go up eventually. Where to, you ask? Good question. My targets still remain the same here. Nothing has changed for me. I still like the same levels that I said before. Once it gets up here through the golden pocket and Sniper's Alley, and I think it will, $4, $5, call it $6. It's $5.50, and the 2 fibs up here at $7, so call it $4 to $6. I'll know exactly as we get up there more, but I do know for sure the $4 barrier is going to be hell, and I know for sure the $5 barrier will be hell. Let's see how far past it can get there. I don't know if it'll maintain those prices, but I do think it will at least hit those prices in the future. You do the math on what 2.2 to 5 or 6 is. All right, you do the math. I think we all know that means the price is going to go up and you're going to make good money. You might not make everything you thought you were going to make, but let's take it step by step. Okay, if this thing sprints earlier and then has a chance to taper off and hold water until the end of the year, excellent. If we get something like happened last time, where it kind of fades out in the middle of the year and never really reclaims that power, where we're going to flounder out and not make super high prices. You also need to understand how the market cap on this stuff works, folks. Just because you want the price to go up, that doesn't mean anything. The money has to come in to reflect that. And if the money's not there, and if the money doesn't add up right, well, that ain't going to happen, all right? And you can come at me with 5,000 subjective reasons of why you think it'll change. The fact is, the value is exactly what it should be right now. It's exactly where it should be for the future. The market determines what it's worth. Again, I'm here for it. I think things are improving drastically. Baby steps, but we are totally getting there. I'm here for it. I hope you're here for it. Ichimoku Cloud, like I said, is a little dicey. It's still not good enough being 2 out of 4. Your oscillators are improving, but they're still not knock the baseball out of the park. Amazing. Baby steps, we're getting there. XRP people, I'm here for you. I hope you're following along. I'll be here for the whole ride. Cool. I recorded the segment about XRP. I always do because people absolutely hate me talking about XRP. However, most of you guys that are watching because of XRP. Figure that out. I think we'll get there. What's up, Apolora? He said do flare, bro. I'm gonna get it. I'll get to it. XRP bullshite. Ondo I don't have on the list. Let me get that. Yeah, Rune, got you. So you guys know, look how long the list is. Right? The list got long quick. You'll have that on those big jobs. All right, so let me get faster here. So that one's done, that one's done, that one's done, that one's done. Solana, we'll go a little faster. Try to keep the pace up. I'm sorry if I'm going slow, but I want you guys to be able to soak all this in, man. Things are finally starting to flip good. It's not often I get to come on here and say stuff like this. And I need you to know that I'm not playing around, man. This shit is serious. This is an old line, by the way. I don't even know why it's still on there. My Solana price is 134.93. That's where my mark is. And we're at 151. So I'm doing well on this one. Same thing for Solana, 821.50. Excellent. We like to see that. Still under the 100 and the 200, needs to improve that way. You notice that Bitcoin's ahead of a lot of them. You're 3 out of 4 on the cloud. You only have one thing left, and that's getting the price over the cloud. But it'll happen soon. 3 out of 4 is a vast improvement from most. Cardano. All right. Pull it up, they say. Well, I'll pull it up. All right, so I've got this line drawn, and I'm not certain that it isn't for sure. I could have drawn this wrong. But I was fiddling around with drawing different trend lines, and I left this on there on purpose to see what it would look like. This could be a back test of this trend and fall off the face of the earth and die. That's why I want to say be careful. Not all of these are perfect. Now, obviously, I could draw this different and say, oh, you just didn't do it right. Since I'm not sure, I'll leave it off, and let's go look at some other stuff first. All right, 821 EMA, got it. 50 moving average, got it. Last thing, that 200, 100 cross that's about to happen, and we got a perfect tits cross to match it, but we haven't broken through it yet. And since we haven't broken through this, be careful, right? This could absolutely hit and fail. Absolutely could happen. Baby steps. I need to see the price over this, and while it's there, that's a fib line right there. It needs to get over as well. So let me see you break and hold 75 cents, call it 80 cents for a day or 2 or 3 or 5 or ever. And I feel a whole lot better about this one as far as charts go. I don't like feelings in general, right? But this one gives me the creeps because of the way it's back testing potentially that. Now, obviously, this could be a false breakout, right? You had this wedge and she came down here, and this is just a false breakout, and now it's just going to take off and run. Here for it. Here's my my ADA average price. I'm in at 70 cents. So don't think that I'm over here just making these numbers up. It's the same way. This could fail very rapidly, so be careful, all right? XLM. How about an improver? That's XLM. Finally. All right, cool. So it's a similar story with ADA, only not as bad. It's a classic double bottom pattern here that we've seen on a lot of these, right? Looking like a double bottom. Then we get power with buy pressure coming in to get us over the 821 EMA and the 50 moving average. Excellent. Saw that with ADA where we had that tits cross coming in and the price is respecting it. Same thing happening here. Same exact data. Be careful. It could fail and roll over and not come back. And I don't want to see anybody get burned. So, baby steps. I need to see it over 30 cents, break and hold for a couple days, and you eliminate a lot more risk for me. If I pull some fibs on this, you'll see it's kind of right against the trend line too. Again, some has improved. Some of them are still a little dicey, and be careful. This one's still a touch dicey. Not bad. It's still got a buy signal with the 821 and 50 moving averages, but beware that you may not have broken out just yet. All right. So eyes open, right? I'm in it. Don't think I'm just saying that because I own XLM. All right. HBAR. I was looking at this just before the stream. Similar story here. Could be a breakout, could be a false move. Be careful because as far as the moving averages go, same story. Over the 821 and 50. Good, but you're underneath that 200 and the 100. Prove it. Prove it by getting on up here and hanging on. Bitcoin's done it. Can you do it, HBAR? Well, I certainly hope so. It would mean a big, big deal if that one got going. CRV. The ones that look better, I can give a better kind of calculation on where the price is going to go. And that's based on the fact that we have breakouts and the data looks a little better on those. The ones that don't have very good data, I can't jump off and say, oh gosh, yes, this one's just going to fly. That would be lying to you, and I'm not going to do that. I have to be a little bit more careful about how I do things. If you guys have never watched before, you guys don't know, I'm not the normal dude who comes on here and just spouts out a bunch of stupid numbers about dumb crap. It's all data based. It's all facts based, not opinion based. I'm going to give you subjective stuff. Never. I'm going to give you objective stuff. Always. Subjective is opinion. Objective is fact. I much prefer facts. Now, is there times when we'll have mixed gray area facts? Yeah. And a lot of times when that happens, we just don't buy them. We just wait. It's pretty simple. And could they go on to do amazing things? Sure. But the good news is there's tons of other options, so you don't have to get pinned down to one. All right. It's not much different than players for an NFL draft. Maybe they'll listen to that one day. All right. So cool. I like CRV going up above a lot of the moving averages here. See that? All the support over every single moving average. Excellent. What about the Ichimoku cloud? 4 out of 4. Let her rip, Tater Chip. That's exactly what I want to see. Problem, we're pinned up against this 50 fib. And I do think it'll get through it eventually. It's having a little bit of a hard time right now, and that's fine. Big resistance is up here. Do you see that? Right there at that golden pocket fib at about 80 cents. 80 to $1 is going to be hard for this to get through. It's already shown pretty good power, and I think it's probably going to use up a little bit of that juice to get up here and maybe slow down. When it does, I might take some profits up here and skim. I'm not sure yet, but I do think this is going to keep going. Yes, that's my actual buy line. No, I don't care if you know that. I'm very open about a lot of this stuff, dude. I'm the anti-influencer when it comes to this stuff. If we break out, $1, $2, and $3 are my targets. Actually, $2 to $3. How about that? 2, 2.5, and 3 are my levels of breakout. Oh my God, CRV finally did it. That's where we'll start from. From there, we'll see. If it happens by the end of the year, definitely taking profits. If it happens by summer, holy shit, I got to change my opinion. Okay. Velo. And it's Velodrome that they're asking for. So let me pull it up. I got it right over here fired up. I don't own this one anymore. Wife still does. So a little bit worse than what we just saw, right? You're pinned down, not even above the 236 level yet. And that's just the first like little baby speed bump you need to get over. And we haven't even done that. But 821 and 50. Excellent. That's a great start. This is what I do most of my buying and selling based off of. I'll add in other stuff like fibs, cloud, and I get confluence, obviously. But this is where I start, right? And this is also where I start taking profits, as well as fibs, right? You guys know how to do this. It's not a secret. All right. Problem. Ichimoku cloud. You're still only 1 out of 4, so be careful. This might be much ado about nothing for the time being. I hate to talk about upper level prices until we get there. I do think we're going to get to the 236 at least. That's 6 cents, and it's likely that we get to the 382 up at 8 cents. That's still a pretty good 65 to 70% gain. You can't really hate on it, but needed to be tiptoeing because some of this stuff just isn't good enough yet. Arrow. Got Aerodrome pulled up right here too. It's better. I used to have this. I don't have it anymore, so I'll delete my average price. All right, so it's gotten into a much better position than Velodrome. As you see, it's broken through that 236, and at the same time it did that, 821 and 50 moving average. You broke through all three of them at one time. Hail to the yeah, brother. It's exactly what we needed to see. Now we're approaching the 382 fib up there where the 100 moving average is. Precursor, it's likely to happen. And if it does, that means more gains for you. Where do I see this stopping? Well, if it can get past the 100, the 200 moving average is up there at the golden pocket at about $1. That's about 45% from where we're at now. That's an excellent run. I wouldn't be too mad about that at all, especially if it happens by summer. That'll give us a nice retrace spot to think about what's going on from there. Do we go higher? Do we go lower? We'll see when we get there. But baby steps, that's where we're heading first. Doge. All right, here's my actual Doge chart. So 821, 50 moving average. You guys know the deal. You get 821 EMA cross, 50 moving average, exactly what I'm looking for. That's why I'm in. All right, cool. We're sitting on top of the 50 right now. I will wait on this to work itself out. Obviously, there's speed bumps in the way in the form of a 100 moving average and a 200 moving average. If we go off to anything else, same story. Cloud, you kind of button your head on it. Going to need some time to iron itself out, but it's a good start. That's why I'm in. That's why I'm talking about it. Right? It's a fair look. AVEX. And you haven't seen me say, no, this definitely isn't a buy yet, have you? right? A lot of these have turned the corner. Prepare. All right, so we've got a trend line here on AVAX. Nice move up. All right, very cool. Over the 821 and 50, but pinned down by the 100. Still improving. I like that. If I take these big time fibs off, it's a little cleaner to see that way. All right, next stop is the 382 where that 100 moving average is. I want to see that happen. If we can get above those, 200's up there at the 50 fib at about 28 to 30 bucks. That's the next stop. From there, let's see if we can get up here to where the meat of this resistance is at the golden pocket. All right, 30 bucks, getting above that. Sniper's Alley is at 41 to 48. Likely to stop there because it's going to be tough to get through all of this at once. If it does, then we're at 79.95, 125 for AVAX. That is a hefty return on what the price is now. That is not a guarantee. It's simply data. You decide. It's your money. Don't listen to me. What the hell do I know, right? Take it for yourself. See what you think. Go check the data and see if I'm wrong or not. Plume. This is one I haven't charted very much. I think we might have done it once or twice ever. But daily 821.50. You got what you need. Very good. You're clearly... Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. There we go. I think I have a hotkey set up to where I automatically hit that and it pulls Bitcoin up, but I set that a long time ago, so you know. All right, so here's our uptrend. Can't deny it. Absolutely ripping. Love to see a good solid uptrend like this. As long as it keeps going, fine. As long as it keeps down this trajectory, stick with it. What would I do to exit this? I would exit the same way I entered. If it starts failing the 821 and the 50 moving average right there, I would start bailing. But for now, she still looks pretty good, dude. She passes the sniff test, you know what I'm saying? All right, KuCoin. NPT, non-playable coin. All right, moving averages first. 821, yes. 50 moving average, yes. Got you 100 moving average as well. Not bad. How about the Ichimoku cloud? 4 out of 4. You got a green cloud. Price is over. You've got conversion and baseline are correct with the blue over the red, and the lag line is over the candles. That's 4 out of 4 on the cloud. It's a pretty good setup, dude. Can't deny it. I like the way this one looks. Got a lot of upside too, if that's the top. Let me see if I can find a different chart. See, make sure that's the top. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was. That's the top. If that's the top, and we're ripping here. Next targets would be almost 2 cents. Got resistance right here, okay? So that's going to be a little bit difficult to get to at 2 cents. If it can get above that, golden pocket up at 2.5. I don't know if it gets to Sniper's Alley or not. Baby steps. I'd like to see it get those other levels first, and then that lets me know we're probably going to have the juice or not to get up there. We'll see when we get to this level, because I don't know if this breaks out or not. A lot of these memes and very low caps are going to fall off the face of the earth at some point, and I don't want to be caught in the aftermath when they do. Blur. USDT. We got 10 more minutes. I'm making good time, dude. I'm getting on the list better than I thought I would, to be honest with you guys. All right, and these fibs look terrible, dude. I don't know about this shit. Dude, this one looks wonky, bro. This one's wonky, dude. Let's just take the fibs off until we get a defined run here. All right, so 821.50. Do I have that? Oh, I do. Excellent. You've broken the 821 and 50 moving average. It fell off so far, so fast that it definitely needs an aggressive recovery. Aggressive recovery looks to be trying to happen. You had a falling wedge here, and it's clearly broken out of that falling wedge. Excellent. This just needs more time to marinate and work itself out. It's broken into the cloud, but it's not over the cloud yet. It's making progress. As far as 821 goes, as far as the 50 moving average that goes with that goes, give me the cloud 4 out of 4, and then we'll have, we ain't got it yet. Okay, close. Tia. We're working down the list, getting close. Tia looks almost exactly like Blur, only not as good. This one's still 4 out of 4. Red on the cloud. All right, 821. You're over the 821 EMA. You got an 821 EMA cross coming in tonight. Problem, you don't have over the 50 moving average. 2 out of 3 is only 66% convinced. Not good enough. So I would like to wait till it crosses the 50, but not terrible. ICP. This is going by fast, dude. It's odd because when we did this stream last week, I think we had 120 people on. There's 613 people on this watching right now. Go figure. Go figure. That's the anomaly of crypto, right? One week nobody cares. Next week everybody cares. It's crazy. ICP has improved. Problem. Still not good enough. Same as TIA. 821 EMA. Great. You got an 821 EMA cross coming. Likely tonight. Problem, you're not over the 50 moving average just yet. 2 out of 3 doesn't convince me enough. That's only 66%. I would like 3 out of 3. Okay. You're on the right track. Prove it. Breakout here. It hasn't broken out yet. Give me the breakout and we can talk about it. FLR, that's Flare for you guys who don't know and who have been on the Hopium train for a long time. Remember, Flare Finance is going to change DeFi. You know, Flare Finance along with XRP Ledger are going to change everything, dude. Don't you know any of this? I mean, don't you know any of this stuff, dude? Do you even know about the Nostro Vostro wallets?
Bruh.
Come on, guy. Where have you been? I'm joking. Relax, bro. Don't get all mad and start on with the
Bloody fuck you, bloody.
to me. Relax. I'm on your team. I'm just joking. We have to be able to joke with each other, all right? If we can't, we're never going to make it. We're never going to make it. You got to have a sense of humor about all this. All right, so has Flare improved? The absolute truth is yes, it has. 821 EMA, do you got that? Same thing on the Reaper strategy. Are you over the 50 moving average and have an 821 cross? Yes, I have to wait. It's a 5-second button. Excellent. You got 2 out of 3. 100 moving average and 200 moving average. You can see them in blue and red right there. Not over those just yet. You're getting there. You're close. Not quite. Ichimoku cloud. In the cloud. 2 out of 4. Almost. When you get 4 out of 4, then we can talk about it. We're close. Already did Bund. Quant. Those were late requests. That's why they're kind of down here on the bottom of the list. All right. This is a former position. Look at last year. Good thing I sold this. Look how far down it went. Jesus. All right. 821.50. You got all 3. I don't hit hitting the butt 3 times. It's already getting annoying to me. Ichimoku cloud. Not quite. We've only got 2 out of 4. You've got the conversion line over the baseline. You've got the lag line over the candles, but the cloud is still red and you haven't gotten the price through it just yet. So 2 out of 4 ain't good enough. Show me some more improvement, and then I'll draft you in the first round. Makes sense? Now you're starting to get it, you see?
Come on, man.
Now you get it. All right. Close. Getting better. Credi. Boy, Credi. We've been monitoring this very closely over in the chat, in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you're missing out badly. I sold my positions up here when they turned sour, so I'm going to remove these. I was killing it on Credi. I made very good money on Credi. Then I lost some of it, which sucks. I didn't expect the market to go down 85%. I'm sorry. Call me crazy for not expecting that, but that's what happened. 821, 50 moving average. What do you say? Yeah. How about the 100 moving average? You've broken that as well. Excellent, dude. Great progress. How about the Ichimoku cloud? Oh, what do we got? We got a green cloud on the end. Unlike the last couple we looked at, is the price over the candles? You bet your sweet ass it is. What about the lag line? Is it over the candles? Price over the cloud, by the way. It was. Is the lag line over the candles? Indeed it is. Conversion line is over the baseline. You can see it in the background right there. Blue's over red. This is 4 out of 4 on the cloud. 3 out of 3 on the Reaper strategy. Get paid, folks. She's ready to rip. All right. Let me pull up the other deck stuff you guys asked for. Retardo. I think that's the one. There it is. All right, here's Retardo. Retardo was his name. This is a terrible idea to buy and sell. You're going to have to go down the low time frames to even get a good look at a chart here. And I don't know if I trust this. Market cap only being $14,000 is extremely risky. If it can get above this price right here, which I don't even know how many zeros that is. If you can break out above that, that's a new high, and you're likely to make newer highs. But be very careful. This could absolutely fall flat on its face. The good news is this is very new. There's only $13,000 in liquidity. I'd have to look at the circulating supply and see if one wallet holds everything. Because if they do, they need to run for the hills as far as that goes. The transactions are quite small. One wallet owns 64%, and that's this address right here. You guys do the research on that and tell me what you think. It owns 9,000 of the $14,000 in rotation. So maybe you should be careful. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You decide. But that, not bad. MFer. Last one on the deck screener right here. MFer. Oh, come on. All right. I don't know which one it is, but I'm going to go with this one. $18,000 market cap. Absolute shit pile. But the hourly has improved. Be careful, please. That faucet drip, though. You remember Flare Network. Bro, we spent so much time on that. I'm so pissed that we spent all that time on that, dude. All right, so the 1 hour is doing well, making higher highs and higher lows. But be careful because you are still trapped in an overall downtrend here. And you really need to break out above this last high, which is a whole bunch of zeros, 29.67. You get above that on the low time frame, you can start looking for more breakouts at a higher time frame because you really need to get out of the 1 hour here. That's how far down I had to go to get a good look on the chart. The daily is absolute dog trash. Be very careful. This could absolutely go out from underneath your legs in no time. And as far as meme coins go, it could be good one moment and terrible the next. So walk softly. I don't own any meme coins, and I won't. I have no need. Ondo. All right. So as far as fibs go, you've busted into the 236 and got through it, and you've hit the 382 just perfectly. Not bad. I would like to see you get above that level, but that's improvement. Now, 821 EMA and 50 moving average. Not bad. I like it. You got all three of those. Now, how about the cloud? What do we got? Almost. Conversion is over the base. That's good. Lag line is over the candles. That's good. Cloud's still red. And you haven't quite gotten the price through the cloud. She's getting close. You correct those last two. 4 out of 4. That would be 7 out of 7 confirmations. Brother, you can't ask for much more on a look. You can go to the higher time frames at that point because she's ready to rip. Last one on the stream will be Rune. We've had a good stream, by the way. Don't happen this way very often, dude. All right, Thor chain. Let's start with the cloud. Price is over the cloud. That's 1. Cloud is green on the end. That's 2, barely, but it's there. Conversion is over base. 3. Lag line is over the candles. That's 4. Oh snap. 821.50. Yep, you got all 3. You got 7 out of 7 here. And look how far down it is. This thing is ripe for recovery. You decide how much money you want to put in it, but this is going to recover some. And when it does, prices I'm looking at are $2.68 and potentially back to 4 to 5. Price is $1.30 at the moment. And I think that might happen by the end of the year. If not, by the end of the summer, but we'll see, one step at a time. This is going to recover, and when it does, it's going to make waves. So be ready, all right? Be ready. Things are turning the corner. You see that? That was a solid hour of TA, whether it be on players, whether it be on charts, whether it be on crypto, whether it be on stuff on deck screener, whether it be a low cap, a high cap, it doesn't matter. It's all the same data. You just have to decide to remove your emotions and make the best of it. Check it out. This was a one-time stream. We normally do this at 11 p.m. on Thursday nights every single week, unless I'm out of town or something like that. But we do it every day on wap.com/team786. You see it right here. First month's free. I'm taking my watch off because my arm's starting to sweat because it's hot in this office. Anyway, it's not going to be very often we have spots open. There's only 3 left. We've managed to keep the Discord completely full, aside from a couple people here and there, for a really long time now. These spots don't come open very often. And when they do, you should take advantage of them. First month's free. Why not? $16 a month after that. And if you don't want to pay it, you don't have to. You can just leave. It's no harm, no foul. I'm not going to be mad at you. I don't think you should, but I'm not going to be mad at you either. Thank you all for watching. I really, really appreciate it. You guys didn't have to come here and hang out, but you did. We had almost 800 people around all different platforms. That's awesome. I'll leave you guys with this. I'm going to go watch the draft after this. I love my Panthers. I might watch the draft with some of the guys in the Discord. If y'all want to come hang out, you can. The links in our chat right here. You can get free access. You won't get any charts or anything like that. But if you want to come hang out and watch the draft, you can. Links at wap.com/team786 if you want a free one. It's not the whole Discord, but it's part of it. We're going to watch the draft after this and hang out a little bit. Thank you guys for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that way more than y'all realize, okay? Seriously. Way more than y'all realize. Make the best of your days, the worst of your tomorrows. And last but not least, nobody else told you today. Let Keith tell you. Keith loves you. Keith's got your back. Thank y'all. See y'all on the next stream, man. Sky's the limit. Peace.